Father, we are grateful for the love that you have shown each one of us, the graduating seniors, and for the opportunities that you have given us to respond to that love and to share that love with others during these past 4 years. This evening we come to you, not in a ceremonial prayer, but in a prayer of faith, believing that you are our source, that you are involved in our lives, that you are responding to our needs, and that you are directing our paths as we acknowledge you. As we come to such a major stepping stone in the path of our lives, we give thanks for all of the efforts that have been poured into our lives through our parents and teachers and the many people of this community who have done so much to encourage us and enrich our educational environment. We are also grateful for the recognition and the honors that this district has received because of the dedication and service of the students before you this evening. But we know that the real fruit of our labors will be revealed as we, young men and women, move on to accomplish the goals that you have for us. So our prayer this evening is this, that you will touch our lives in such a way that will enable us to reach our total potential, that we will seek your wisdom and your strength in all of our endeavors, that our eyes will be focused on you so that we can receive every blessing that you have for us, that we will be filled with a desire to serve you and our fellow man, and finally, that nothing will separate us from your mercy and love. Congratulations, class of 2000. Thank you very much. Will you please be seated?
Good afternoon. On behalf of the class of 2000, I would like to welcome family, friends, school board members, and administration to the graduation ceremony of the class of 2000. I would also like to thank all of you for helping nurture us in our education and in our lives. We have been fortunate to live in a community where we have been supported by so many people. Much of the success we have had and will have in the future is a result of all of you. I know that as we depart to the rest of our lives, we will remember what we learned here during the past 4 years, and we will understand how important and fruitful these years have been. Once again, thank you and welcome to the graduation ceremony of the class of 2000.
Before I begin, I would like to wish Aaron and Jen Keel, our classmates, a happy 18th birthday. All right, here we go. On the first day of kindergarten, I wore a pair of Converse All-Stars tennis shoes. I don't remember the occasion vividly, but my mom showed me a picture. This past Wednesday, our last full day at this school, again I wore a pair of Converse All-Stars tennis shoes. During physics class on that day, the instructor, Mr. Carney, told me that the shoes I was wearing were like the pair he wore when he was in high school. So what? In a way, this proves that fundamentally, nothing really changes all that much. When Mr. Carney was in school, when Mr. Carney was in school, when I was in kindergarten, and now, people have needed to wear shoes, and Converse All-Stars in their quiet simplicity have always satisfied that need. I can think of perhaps 42 reasons why they make me happy, too. My shoes are a lot like what we're all experiencing now. Lots of things are changing, but one thing has always been constant. It was true for our parents and grandparents and so on. It is this: you can't get anywhere without shoes, and you can't get anywhere without work. And just because we have really spiffy things like computers and the internet, it doesn't mean we don't have to work or that we have to work less. In fact, it could even mean that we have to work more. But that doesn't mean we don't have a lot to look forward to, because meaningful work can make a person happy, just like my shoes do. In fact, I'm happiest when I'm doing something that's useful and productive and that will benefit everyone. It was Thomas Jefferson who wrote, "It is neither wealth nor splendor, but tranquility and occupation which give happiness." I know that many of my classmates already know these things. We as a class have certainly kept ourselves occupied. We've learned that light has to hit a raindrop at the special angle of 42 degrees to form a rainbow. We've learned that the Magna Carta was signed in 1215, and we've learned that it's easier to discuss a novel in class when we have read the novel in advance. But more importantly, We have learned how to learn. We as a group have worked, and I know that the habits we have formed here will continue into the future, and that makes me profoundly happy. Thank you.
I know most of us were happy when the bell rang at the end of the day on Wednesday. We were delighted to leave these whitewashed stone walls behind us. But this time, it was a little different, because we were leaving for good. Some people cried, mostly girls, and Matt Zidek, because they weren't going to see their friends again. Others congratulated each other and walked to their cars or buses as if it were any other school day, but not me. At the end of Mod 16, after the bell rang, it occurred to me that for 4 years, I had gotten up to go to school, and I had known exactly what to expect, what was expected of me by my parents and my teachers. We've lived a sheltered life within these high school walls, and now the roof comes off. It's time to leave. After today, we'll be on our own, either attending college, maybe working, or doing both. In any case, there will be new expectations. So our journey doesn't end with graduation today. Aristotle once said, "You are what you repeatedly do." I guess what he meant was that our actions, what we do every day, shape us into who we eventually become. With that in mind, I hope to see you all down the road sometime. Thank you for sharing this day with me, and good luck.
Hello. 2 down, 12 more to go. Don't worry. Samuel Clemens, commonly known as Mark Twain, once wrote, "Work like you don't need the money. Love like you've never been hurt. Dance like no one is watching." For me, these words symbolize much of what I have learned in high school, from my teachers, my family, and from my friends, from the people who give meaning to Twain's words. Work like you don't need the money. As a student of Upper St. Clair, I think that we have all been fortunate enough to have several teachers who exude a passion for the subject they are teaching. I will never forget Mr. Pryor's dynamic account of the Civil War, or how Dr. Saunders' good news of the day always made me smile. Teachers like them have taught me to learn for the sake of learning and to be passionate about everything I do. To all the teachers who have encouraged me, inspired me, and pushed me to succeed, I thank you. The second line of Twain's saying reads, "Love like you've never been hurt." Throughout my life, I've been blessed with a family whose unconditional love and support have gotten me through some pretty tough times. But you know, it's the little things they did for me that I appreciate the most. Like when my mom woke up extra early to chauffeur me to school each day, or when my cousin Syra surprised me by taking me out to dinner after a stressful day. Whew. Okay, I'm back. Okay. To my mom, my dad, my brother, and all my relatives, particularly my utimasi, the people who have given me my morals and shown me the value of unconditional love, I thank you. And finally, what would high school be without the friends who have lived through it with me? My friends have taught me the third and final lesson in Twain's saying, to dance like no one is watching. Through their love and support, my friends have taught me to be myself and to be comfortable with who I am. They have given me the courage to speak my mind and to stand up for what I believe in. To my friends, the people who have inspired me and supported me, I thank you. So as I head off to college in the fall, I know that I will take with me the memories and lessons of this high school and the people who have made it special. High school was a very important time in all of our lives, a time when we were building our character, testing our strength, and painting our dreams. And let's face it, the outside world can be a pretty scary place. I really think, however, that we should all feel comfort in knowing that we have come from a very supportive and caring environment that has prepared us well for the future. To my God, to my teachers, to my family, to my friends, to the entire senior class, I thank you. Congratulations on your achievement, and I wish you the best of luck for the future. Thank you.
Let me begin by saying what an honor and a privilege it is to speak before our class this afternoon. Upon the bulletin board in my history class this year hung an inspirational message that I found to be a powerful statement. The title of that excerpt is Man in the Arena, written by Theodore Roosevelt. It is not the critic who counts, not the one who points out how the strong man stumbled or how the doer of deeds might have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred with sweat and dust.
Backyard pool, cheerleading man. And Miss Holman, I call her Miss Jenny, with her 34 years of yearbook experience, guided Katie and me through the narrow straits of yearbook publication. Similarly, my duties as ensign grew, and I had the great opportunity with Children's International Summer Villages to raise and lower flags of different countries with newfound friends in many different parts of the world. The journey to these far-off lands was never easy, but the friendships that transpired were for life. Our class has developed a similar bond over our tenure at Upper St. Clair. We have sailed in protected waters under watchful guidance. We have occasionally been in brief storms, most recently weathering the reconstruction of our high school. During this period of this time, we may not have always been the best of friends. We may have had disagreements. We may have not pulled in the same direction, but we did learn to trust in each other. Whether it was learning to sail or traveling with my CISV friends, Marissa, working on the yearbook, or hanging out in the activities office, the common factor was learning to trust in the whole crew to go anywhere. Look at the year 2000 photograph, again in the yearbook. Our adult supervision is gone from the picture. We have sailed a fine journey together. And today, our crew departs for many distant ports. We will leave behind those that taught us the ropes. We will remember USC as a friendly and safe port to which we can return and seek shelter from troubled waters. But we will all find our new ships to captain and new crews in whom we can trust. That trust will not be easy to transfer, but we know that without learning to again trust in newfound friends, we will go nowhere. William Shedd expressed in this idea, saying, "A ship in harbor is safe, but that is not what a ship is built for." It might be less work and less stress to stay at dock, but there is so much in life for all of us waiting just beyond the harbor, golden treasures to be found, and beautiful places to discover. Before we depart, I would like to thank these members of my crew, my friends, my teachers, the administration, my mom, dad, Bart, Jessa, and my first mate, Harold. So with our mortarboard captain hats on, the time has come to set sail, and the sun sets and the ensign flag is lowered, and we have gone our ways. Remember, in the words of T.S. Eliot, it's not farewell, but fare forward, voyagers.
Here we are at this rite of passage. Today is for all of you. And I'm honored to be one of the people lucky enough to be delivering this farewell address. You're sitting in those chairs with your hats and gowns on, probably sweating, but you really have to make me proud. Certainly there's been a lot of guidance and help along the way, but you wouldn't be here today without your own perseverance. And the best is yet to come as the rest of our lives begin with this commencement. Always have a dream as you look toward the future. Don't forget all the friends and experiences you've had for these last 13 years. For those memories are ones you will cherish forever. In addition to our childhood, some of the best of those memories are going to be of our senior year. Everyone transcended group lines, making new friends, and dedication will truly miss. I think you all agree that it's a shame it took us so long to figure out what wonderful people are in our class. I would just like to leave you with 4 short quotes that have touched me. I hope you can take them with you through the good times and the bad times. Number 1, be happy. Number 2, remember that you must always walk through the rain in order to reach your goal. Number 3, never take those closest to you for granted. And number 4, my favorite. If you love someone, tell them right then and there, because once you let the moment pass you by, you may never get it back. And on that note, I'd like to say, Mom, Dad, Ron, Tim, I love you. Thanks for everything. And in the words of my grandfather, God bless.
Searching for my prom earrings, I opened a musical jewelry box given to me by one of my best friends. As I peered within the lid, the song Memory began to play, asserting its poignancy upon the moment. And I began to think, like twinkling diamond heirlooms, our memories of childhood and adolescence, the adventure we've shared these past 13 years, will forever be housed in the treasure chest of the mind, ready to be evoked at a moment's notice with the playing of a special song. Cleaning out my locker for the last time, I gently removed the photos splashed across its walls. Decorated with a photographic mural of the last 4 years, my locker was in essence a time capsule, a pictorial postcard harboring a story of self-discovery. As I held the photos, I only began to truly understand the statement, "A picture is worth 1,000 words." Echoing truths of the past and whispering promises of the future, pictures embrace the most invaluable part of our existence, encouraging us to understand where we've been, to fully comprehend where we want to go in the journey of life. And I began to think, holding a photo can serve as a time machine, a witness to tangible emotion not easily forgotten with the weathering of time. As we sit here in our caps and gowns, awaiting the adventure that beckons us towards the future, we may have confidence in our abilities and support in knowing that we are not truly alone. It won't be necessary to lock away the cherished memories in fear of their escape from the conscious. Our experiences are part of the essence of who we have become, an integral, growing facet of identity that will encourage us to persevere through the toughest challenges. I would like to thank my mom and dad, without whose love and support, I wouldn't be standing up here now. My sister Rachel for sharing her passion for life, and my brother Matthew for inspiring me on a daily basis.
To my friends, thank you for the gift of friendship you shared with me all these years. To my teachers, thank you for your determination and the joy of learning you've instilled in me. To the senior class of 2000, I hope that we may all discover a dream or passion that motivates us, challenges us, and enriches our comprehension of life. May our experiences be fulfilling and our adventures be often. Embrace the future, live for the moment, and learn from the past. Congratulations to you all.
Can you remember how you spent this past Memorial Day? I still can. I woke up nice and late, studied for German and physics, really, and ate Chinese with my family. Now, I pride myself on my reflective nature, but I must shamefully admit that I forgot all about the true purpose of the holiday until the evening news came on, and I watched parts of memorial services held all over the country. I was especially upset with myself because members from both sides of my family have served their respective countries in the armed forces. That night, as Tuesday and finals week gradually approached, I began to think about how we as human beings have an alarming tendency to not give credit where it is due, that we leave too many of our deserving heroes unsung, that sometimes we fail to fully appreciate what others have done for us. Take our parents, for example. They have worked hard and sacrificed a great deal in order for us to be here today. We should be grateful for siblings as well if we have them. They know you better than anyone and can be your closest friends, especially when you happen to be in different countries for a few weeks. And speaking of friends, we ought to be thankful for them too, because they willingly lend us a hand or ear when we need it most, and they don't mind sharing the good times with us either. And how about our teachers? Sure, we all complain that Mr. and Miss So-and-so didn't have to assign that 30-page report, but he or she didn't have to read it either, nor did he or she necessarily have to help you understand your mistakes so that you could improve for next time. We owe a lot to a great many people, and let's hope none of us forgets it. In closing, I'd like to thank God and my parents, Phyllis O'Hara, and my sister Chrissy for their love, help, and support. Also, a big thank you to all my friends near at hand and far away, especially my LC girls, Sugar, Taco, Dre, and Jewel. Please keep in touch. And finally, thanks to all my teachers for their guidance during the past 4 years. I guess this is where I'm supposed to throw in an obligatory quote or two, so knowing is half the battle, and for Mr. Carney, physics is life. Congratulations and good luck to you all.
It is hard to believe that 4 years ago, we entered this high school, a little uncertain of ourselves, not knowing what to expect. Each year, we looked forward to graduation more and more, but now that the day we worked so very hard to reach has finally arrived, feelings are bittersweet. There is much we will miss. However, the future lies ahead of us, filled with the unknown and endless possibilities. Christy Klaus, a professional housekeeper at Olmsted Manor in northern Pennsylvania, appropriately captures the essence of our journey through school in the following quote. "I see children as kites. You spend a lifetime trying to get them off the ground. You run with them until you're both breathless. They crash. You add a longer tail. They hit the rooftop. You pluck them out of the spout. You patch and comfort, adjust and teach. You watch them lifted by the wind and assure them that they'll someday fly. Finally, they are airborne, but they need more string, and you keep letting it out, and with each twist of the ball of twine, there is a sadness that goes with the joy, because the kite becomes more distant, and somehow you know that it won't be long before that beautiful creature will snap the lifeline that bound you together and soar as it was meant to soar, free and alone. Today, we are soaring free and alone. However, speaking for myself, I could not have been lifted from the ground without the help of my mother and father. Thank you for instilling in me a set of morals and values to live by. Thank you for supporting me in my every decision, for showing me unconditional love, and for making me face the realities in life. Next, I want to say thanks to my sisters, Jennifer and Ashley, who are my very best friends. You were always there when I needed a shoulder to cry on, and you taught me that there is more to life than grades and test scores. My family and friends have been wonderful in helping me survive high school. There are just too many to name, but you know who you are.
Finally, I extend warm thanks to the teachers here at Upper St. Clair, especially Ms. Hallman, who have done so much to shape the individual I am today. I have learned more than academics you have taught me about life. I hope that whatever career path I choose, I can say that I experienced the same passion that you do in teaching. Congratulations to the class of 2000, and best of luck in all you do. Thank you.
The time has finally come for us to step forward from our high school career and enter into a new wave. We are the graduating class of 2000, and with us, we carry the distinction of a new millennium and a new beginning. In addition, no matter what course our lives may take, we will always be associated with our graduating year of 2000. Therefore, today I offer each graduating senior a challenge to positively represent our class in everything that they do. Consider our graduation as a fresh new opportunity to start off on a trail to success. However, this trail is not an easy one to blaze, and many times we may not know where we are or where we are going. It is when we are lost in the shuffle and stress of life that we must examine the basics of our lives. For many of us, college will be a period of great joy, and at the same time, a period of great anxiety. We must not get caught up in the daily grind and simply go through our post-high school careers as if we are simply going through the motions. Instead, I urge you to live for the moment, to put forth a conscious effort into all tasks you encounter, and forget not the little things in life. Too many times we may overlook what is most important, or fail to see a wonderful chance, although it may be right before our eyes. The big picture is also important. Therefore, we should try to set forth personal goals to drive ourselves onward towards a greater achievement. It is not important to know exactly what we will do or where we will go. So long as we stick to a life of dedication and cherish all that we have accomplished, the world will have a high place for us. I know deep in my heart that every single one of us has some skill, some potential to do great things. It is only a matter of looking into ourselves and having the desire to push ourselves in order to harness that potential. There are so many talented people before us now, adorned with their caps and gowns, whether academically, athletically, musically, or otherwise. I have not yet encountered a graduate who did not impress me with some sort of skill. Thus, we as a class should be very proud of ourselves and our fellow seniors, because with your impressive individual contributions, you have made the class of 2000 something far more than just simply the class of the millennium. Thank you for all of the members, and I wish each and every one of you the very best in your new pursuits. Thank you.
I would like to begin this speech by giving some thanks to those people who have helped me achieve this honor. To my mother, thank you for your endless words of encouragement, support, and love. To my father, thank you for teaching me and helping me understand the concepts that I had difficulties with in school. To my sister Jane, thank you for the challenges you set for me and your expertise in writing. To my brother Peter, thank you for your countless hours of testing and drilling, which helped me accomplish my goals. By the way, Pete, our family's 2 for 2. Pressure's on now to make the sweep. And finally, to my friends, thank you all for keeping me sane during the past 4 years. To the class of 2000, as we proceed from high school to college, many aspects of our lives will be transformed. Instead of home-cooked meals, we will eat out of crowded dining halls. You know that room you had all to yourself? It's gone. And do you know how to do your laundry? Well, you better learn. One of the biggest changes in our lives will be an increase in responsibility and actions that will involve taking greater risks. Herodotus once wrote, "Great deeds are usually wrought at great risks. To take great risks, you must have confidence, an attribute that only you can discover. Risks will need to be taken as you embark in college within the next few months, and with a strong sense of confidence, these tasks will seem insignificant. So as we leave Upper St. Clair, I encourage you to find the confidence that lies within each one of you, and then to challenge yourself to greater risks. As Perry writes, embarrassment is only a lack of confidence, so have faith in your instincts and believe in yourself. A road to success and happiness is paved on the grounds of self-confidence.
Thank you for your time, and good luck.
I remember sitting up in those stands 7 years ago and listening to my brother Tom give his valedictorian speech and wondering whether or not I would make it at the same point that he was at. Well, here I am, Tom, so I hope I don't do too badly. Earlier this week, I was sitting in my room reminiscing about the past 4 years, and I realized how much my life has changed and how much our lives have changed. I only recently realized how much I value the friendships that I have made over the past 13 years in the school district. And now we must leave each other to find our own way in the world. We must now find new friends in new places, and that's just so strange because it's so long since I've had to make friends. I wish that I had realized this a long time ago, because I would have had a chance to tell everyone how much they mean to me. I find that now my goodbyes are rust, my thanks are looked over, and my compliments pass the side as merely flatteries because we are all leaving. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Everything that I say, I mean. All the times I tell people that I love them and that I will miss them, it is genuine and from the heart. In this spirit, I think that it is now the time that we should all be completely honest with each other. I have heard too many people talk about each other behind their backs, and it makes me sick. I watch as what used to be friendships die because people can't tell each other the truth. Don't miss out on this opportunity to tell people exactly how you feel. Work out those differences so that you may become stronger in friendship. Don't let petty things get in the way of friendship. You may never see some of these people again, so let them know how much they mean to you. I know that you're sitting there thinking, I'm going to stay in touch with everybody, but unfortunately the truth is, you'll find friends in college, and those from high school will no longer be as important. So don't let this time pass you by. I think that now I will take my own advice and say thank you to all my friends. You guys kept me going day in and day out, from the times when I thought that I couldn't go on, to the times when I thought that I wouldn't be soft. I love each and every one of you, no matter how long I've known you. From my surrogate sister Sarah, and my boy DJ, to my crew from Germany. Thanks guys for all the support and all the love. To my brothers, my best friends, thank you for always being there for me, and for always being there with solid advice. You shared your experiences with me, whether bad or good, in hopes that I could learn from you. I think that you guys did a pretty good job. I want you to know that you two are my biggest role models. Thanks to me, Tom. To my parents, what can I say to you? 17 years of putting up with me, and now I'm just coming to really appreciate you too, and I have to leave now. You've been there for me my entire life, always there to lift me up and help me along. I love you two more than you will ever know. I can't express how much I am thankful that you are my parents. I can't put my feelings into words. Thank you for everything. I love you, Mom and Dad. I just want to say best of luck to the class of 2000 and go Irish.
I would like to begin by expressing my gratitude to the special people who have helped to shape who I am. Mom and Dad, thank you for all of your love and support and every goal which I have set for myself. I cannot begin to express how much I appreciate you both. Michael, you have always been and continue to be an excellent role model for me in fulfilling my dreams and conquering my fears. To those members of the school staff who have been especially supportive and inspirational, thank you so much for your efforts to help me to realize my potential. And finally, to my closest friends who have stood beside me during times of both joy and sadness, thank you for your special caring. Okay, folks, get ready. Now come the traditional valedictory words of inspiration. As I began to think about this, I realized that some of the most meaningful and elevating words can be found within our own Upper St. Clair community. Written on our high school emblem and on the medals worn today by the class of 2000 appear the Latin phrase, qui non proficit deficit. These words could be translated to mean that one who does not advance and move forward fails. Additionally, I found Superintendent Pope's advice to be relevant, words which he delivered at a prior graduation ceremony in a recent year. He told us that we needed to think out of the box. With these two guiding principles in mind, let us for the moment try to be futuristic visionaries as we attempt to focus upon how our currently respected school district might achieve even greater distinction in the years to come. Try to recall an educational experience during your years in high school when you recognize that a particular situation involving quite significant educational matters did not reflect the best practices for the advancement of student learning. One such example that seems to have impacted many members of our class as we have progressed through high school relates to the apparent overutilization of student teachers as the primary instructors of some higher level courses. Another example that might register with USC students who graduated only a few years ago might be the potentially very serious educational deficit associated with not having any advanced placement science courses offered. It is instructive to note that such courses finally were instituted at our high school a mere 3 years ago, compared to decades ago at most school districts with a similar profile. I might add, these science AP courses were established today per St. Clair only after significant public pressure was applied. How can such problems be addressed more effectively in the future? Perhaps a change within the structure or governmental processes in the school board might be productive. We need to enable the truly effective and conscientiously motivated school board members to provide high-quality oversight, accomplished by retaining the services of their own educational expert. This person must be totally independent of school board administrative staff, and thus able to provide the school board with objective, highly competent educational analysis of issues which may be in debate or in dispute. Creation of such an independent type of accountability mechanism will have the potential to produce a setting for momentous reform and advancement in educational policies within our school district. With each successive generation, advancements must be made in order to avoid regression and failure. Therefore, as we advance in our educational journeys, and eventually, when my classmates and I assume the critically important responsibilities of parenting our future children, we will need to undertake actively and enthusiastically our privileges and obligations of citizenship. This certainly will include involving ourselves in matters that so importantly affect the quality of life, such as school district policies and standards. Only then can we take satisfaction in our efforts to improve our community by thinking out of the box, and in our efforts to apply the wise, inspirational Latin phrase which is written on our school district's emblem. Only then can we take comfort that we have done our best to transform wise, inspirational words from being mere platitudes into words by which we truly live. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I have a few questions. Who won the Oscar for Best Actor 2 years ago? Which teams played in the World Series in 1995? What was on the cover of USA Today last week? If you're anything like me, you can't answer any of these questions, so try these instead. Who is a teacher that has greatly influenced you? Who do you go to in your family for guidance and support? What was the most fun you've ever had with your friends? Everyone has an answer to these questions. The point is, people do not remember who won which award for very long. For example, you probably won't remember who gave what valedictory speech in a week. But I don't think any of us will forget the expressions on our faces when we're finally pronounced graduates in a week, or a year, or ever. I'll remember Wind Symphony not because of what trophies we won, but because of who was playing tuba and keeping the band together. Now I remember Chanticleers not because of the songs we sang, but because of who would stand next to me every Monday and show me how to sing them. Now I remember TGI Fridays not because of the food, but because of who I had there to talk to. And most importantly, I'll remember the unconditional love my family provided for me to enable me to stand in front of you today. We each have space in our minds for about 10 memories, so never forget the people sitting around you that have helped you become the person you are. Thank you.
Dr. Vogt, Mr. Whalen, Board of School Directors, parents, teachers, friends, and members of the class of 2000. Welcome to the Upper St. Clair High School commencement ceremony. A few weeks ago, I was talking to my uncle, who drives by our school 2 or 3 times a week to babysit his grandchildren. He was very impressed with the new building, very complimentary. During our conversation, he asked me, "Where do you have school during construction?" I told him we had school right there on site. He replied, "No, I mean, while school is being built." And I repeat, we have school right there with construction going on around us. He asked in disbelief, "Well, how did you do it?" Well, we did it largely through the cooperation, patience, and respect exhibited by the class before you, the class of 2000. Do you remember CPR, the island, false alarms, smoke alarms, water stations in the hall to beat the heat? We probably use them today. The first day when nobody knew their way around the school, including me and the administration, It's truly appropriate that this class is the first to graduate from our new facility. Among other achievements, this class represents 8 National Merit semifinalists and 20 commended students. That's 28 students recognized by National Merit, nearly 10% of the senior class. A truly remarkable statistic. 14 valedictorians, 9 Superintendent's Award winners, an unprecedented 34 students earning EMEA music recognition, including 5 All-State awardees, 4 WPIL championships, 5 students accepted to the University of Notre Dame. Pete, perhaps the good fathers of South Bend think this is just St. Clair High School. It's been a long road for the turquoise towns, but the class of 2000 has arrived. Dr. Pope, as principal of Upper St. Clair High School, I do hereby certify that the students gathered before us have met the requirements for graduation as mandated by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the Upper St. Clair Board of School Directors. Dr. Pope, it is with great pleasure that I present to you the Upper St. Clair High School class of 2000.
In 1987, the graduating students who are seated here today were gathered on a tiny patch of grass in the front of our former high school. They were gathered there for a special occasion, to pose for the first picture of the class of 2000. That picture is included in your yearbook, The Clairvoyant, and right next to it is a picture of the same children, all grown up. When I look at those same pictures in the yearbook, I am not sure if I was prouder of you as kindergartners 13 years ago or as graduating seniors today. What I am sure of is that we have traveled a long way together. When I look over my shoulder, I am still excited and thrilled by that wonderful building to my right. You, the class of 2000, the class of the new millennium, have come the longest with me. We both started our journey in the late 1980s, you as kindergartners at Baker, Streams, or Eisenhower, and I as a new superintendent of Upper St. Clair, the best school district for both of us, especially me. While you may be eager to get out on your own, let me assure you that we as parents, although sad to see you leave, are equally eager to see if we can make it on our own without our kids to look after us. Before we begin the act of familial separation, there are a few thoughts I would like to share. You can think of me as talking to you as a parent, your parent. I would consider that a privilege. Let me assure you that everything I'm about to say today has already been said or written before. Regardless, I am pleased. Regardless, it deserves to be heard or said again. After all, I wouldn't be much of a superintendent or much of a parent if I only offered my opinion once. You also have my permission to accept or reject any piece of advice that doesn't apply to you. I took the liberty of reviewing 4 of my previous graduation speeches, class of 90, 91, 92, and 94, to gather some of the significant points noted in your elementary years. Granted, I was talking to high school seniors then, but what was meaningful for them when they graduated years ago may be interesting or perhaps a bit amazing to you today. In 1990, I commented that although we had revolutionized the beverage industry, we left the graduates of that year with more cans that could ever be recycled. If that wasn't bad enough, we prided ourselves on packing every liquid imaginable in aerosol cans. In the process, jeopardized our Earth's precious ozone layer. 2 of our biggest inspirations in June of 1991 were seated on the field with us that day. Stacey Shabosky and Raj Chakrabarty were 2 of our country's top 20 all-USA American team members, making Upper St. Clair High School the only school to have 2 representatives. I have never made a speech to the graduates of 1992. A storm threatened our graduation ceremony that day, and Mr. Gabler, the school board president at the time, and I were scratched from the program. It never did rain that day, but neither the graduates nor their parents seemed to be upset by the void that was created when our speeches were canceled. 2 years later, I thanked the seniors in 1994 for rising above the things that made us different and concentrating instead on things that make us alike. I encourage them to let that be their legacy. As the author Robert Fulghum, who wrote Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten, said, when you go out into the world, it's best to hold hands and stick together. That's the best advice I could offer back then or today. My thoughts for you, the class of 2000, the class of the new millennium, are simple, but I hope meaningful. First, when you entered Fort Koch in 1985, science researchers invented a way to clone sheep. Isn't that great? Just what we need. More sheep that look just like all the other sheep in the world. Wouldn't it have been better to have cloned you? That indeed would be great. Your accomplishments are those that make Upper St. Clair the blue ribbon school it is. You are leaving us a rich legacy that begins and ends with a national recognition that only the blue ribbon and New American High School Awards can substantiate. And in the late 90s, there was an unbelievable amount of violence and tragedy in our country, and much of it happened in high schools. The message for you is that each of you must get a life in which you will never feel alone. Every time you look at your diploma, remember the connections that you made here, and that you will never feel alone as long as you make connections. Pick up the phone, send an email, write a letter, kiss your mom, hug your dad, or listen to a CD by Barry Manilow and think of me. After you make those connections with other people, get a pet. I understand we're playing a sheep available. Regardless, you will never find a level of trust in a human face. Speaking to you today marks a milestone in my career. I am 53 years old. 35 years ago, when I was in your seat, I never thought anyone as old as 53 had anything to say that would be worth listening to. Isn't that how you're feeling now? Well, well, regardless, I intend to live forever. So far, so good. Lastly, I'm going to give you one extra bit of advice because I already have shared many of the things I know. I hate to admit it, but the older you get, the more you're going to realize your parents are right. More and more until finally you become your parents. I know you are all saying, yeah, right. Well, I am proud to be part of your special day. I hope you always believe in the power of smiles, hugs, kind words, truth, peace, dreams, love, and the people who love you. In all of our years together, you have never let me down. You are the best reason to begin a new millennium. God bless the class of 2000. Stay safe, stay healthy, and happy always. Mr. President, by the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and Upper St. Clair, I assure you that the class seated before you has met the requirements for graduation. I present to you the Upper St. Clair class of 2000.
I hope you all noticed that everybody who has spoken here today at least was afforded the opportunity to wear a mortarboard. The wind is playing havoc with my hair, so I apologize. I also want to apologize in advance, for I might mightily struggle to get through this. Julie, you probably won't be the only speaker to have cried today. I do tend to get pretty emotional at times. My fellow school board members can attest to that. I'm sorry, that was an inside joke. I originally had a much different speech prepared, a real fire and brimstone number. But at a graduation party the other night, I stood back and watched a number of you, young men and women whom I've known for years as friends and classmates of my own daughter. I wanted desperately to freeze that moment, for at that time it really hit me that when you walk out of this stadium today, you will begin a process of change. And that process will affect not only you, but all of us here today who so dearly love you. I realized then that I need to speak to you today, use this time to speak from my heart. So yesterday I went to see an old friend, the Right Reverend Father Patrick McGahee. I told Father McGahee that I was struggling with this speech and with my own emotions. Father McGahee put his arm around me and he said, "Aye, laddie, just think of yourself as the corpse at an Irish wake. They're hell bent on having a ceremony, but no one expects you to say very much." Well, that's terrific advice, and so I'll try to follow it. But there is so much that I want to say to you. Things like that you are about to embark on a great adventure in seas uncharted, and that you should do so with enthusiasm and courage and compassion. And that you should drink deeply from the cup of the wonderful opportunities that are about to be presented to you. That you shouldn't fear failure. Some of the greatest people who have ever walked this earth failed many, many, many times. And some of the greatest stories ever told are of their struggles and their subsequent triumphs. Things like that opportunities often come disguised as problems. And that you shouldn't get hung up about money. Money is important, yes, but to some people it becomes like a narcotic. No matter how much they have, they can never have enough. And they end up living lives of opulent misery. That you should strive to live each day with a passion that's almost violent. That you should work and play and laugh and cry and feel joy, feel sorrow, hug something, dance, sing. Try to make each day a celebration of the beautiful gift that is your life. You should always, always look for the just, the virtuous, the beautiful, and the good. And then you should always remember and honor God for the blessings He has bestowed upon you. That it can sometimes be cold and lonely out there, and that you should hold your friends very close to you, for there will be times when you will definitely need each other. And your parents, those wonderful people who are seated in the stands today, watching this ceremony and sharing this day with you. You know, your parents are a lot cooler than you think they are. All right, on second thought, maybe not. But they do love you. And they really need your help today because they are dealing with a whole range of conflicting emotions. Unbridled happiness and acute melancholy. Absolute pride. And yes, incredible fear. Please give your parents a big hug today. Assure them that everything is going to be okay. And whisper, thank you. Today is indeed a day for thank you. And of everything that I can tell the class of 2000, thank you is certainly the most important. Thank you for making us laugh. Thank you for making us wonder. Thank you for sharing with us your incredible talents in the classroom, on the stage, in the studio, in the workshop, and on the playing field. Thank you for reminding us what it is to feel awe. Thank you for allowing us, in a small way, to participate in your many triumphs, and on those rare occasions when victory didn't occur, in your defeats. Thank you for being such wonderful representatives of our community. Thank you for enriching our lives in ways that you cannot yet begin to fathom. and for making us feel younger than we really are. Thank you for allowing us to marvel at the way you have grown and matured into the bright, caring, talented, beautiful young women and men that you are today. We truly do love you. Today we salute you and your many accomplishments. Please always remember that your most ardent supporters in all that you will do in your life are right here in this stadium today. And so, members of the class of 2000, to all of you free birds, we wish Godspeed in the wondrous journey ahead. I'm not finished. I ask one last indulgence, for I would like to close on a purely personal note. Among this truly special group of young people that we call the class of 2000, there is one who resides in the core of my heart. Sorry. Kylie, I am as proud of you as any parent could possibly be. I am undyingly grateful for the blessing that is you, and my love for you is infinite. Thank you.
Donald Jonathan McMillan, Senior Class President.
Robert Benson Gabler, valedictorian, Senior Class Vice President.
Denise D. Johnson, Senior Class Secretary.
Harold Matthew Hall, Senior Class Treasurer.
Elizabeth Katie Thompson, Student Council President.
Joshua Edward McCouga, Student Council Vice President.
Erin Elizabeth Salamone, Student Council Executive Officer.
George Xiaogong He, Student Council Executive Officer.
Juliet Marie Hobbs, valedictorian, Student Council Executive Officer.
Zachary Ryan Anderson, valedictorian.
Oliver Katsumi Appleby, valedictorian.
Shireen Farhad Kama, valedictorian.
Christopher Graham Ford, valedictorian.
Melissa Andrea Lentz, valedictorian.
Mina Sohila Lunny, valedictorian.
Catherine Lynn Olzak, valedictorian.
Daniel Robert Porter, valedictorian.
Hey, Dan, congratulations. Good luck to you.
Stephen Ishin Song, valedictorian.
Peter Philip Stoldra, valedictorian.
Shayna Top, valedictorian.
Robert Luther III.
Nathan Alexander Wetzel, valedictorian.
Heather Marie Mackey.
Hey, Heather. Congratulations.
Gregory John Abdallah.
Thomas Robert Macy.
Elena Catherine Albert.
John David Mazurak.
Hey, John.
Nicole Brianne Alderson.
Dave Malley.
Lauren Elizabeth Alessi.
Marianne Elizabeth Malloy.
Julie Jane Ollie.
Allison Ann Martin.
Hey, Allison. Congratulations.
Andrew Justin Alt.
Christopher John Martin.
Benjamin David Amick.
Jenna Ann Martinsik.
Thomas Harold Archer.
Chris Anthony Mazok.
Mari Asaka.
Alan Michael Mazer.
Hey, Alan.
Christine Noel Atkins.
Jillian Nicole McDougall.
Michael C. Valores.
Connor Thomas McGarvey.
Aaron Bernard.
Kristen L. McKelvey.
Stephen Ross Barron.
Ashley Nicole McKibben.
Rebecca Lynn Barrett.
Andrew Bryant Mindbress.
Kristen Marie Bartlett.
Valerie Ann Messer.
Anne Elizabeth Basinski.
Jennifer Rita Messina.
Deidre Aaron Bauer.
Courtney Elizabeth Myers.
Ryan Tyson Becker.
William James Magnogna.
Kurt Allen Bell.
Daniel Michael Meon.
Rupa Basim.
Ashley Ann Miller.
Brian Allen Bird.
Randall William Miller.
Jacob Aaron Fletcher.
Ryan Nicholas Malinik.
Ron Blue.
Jessica Christine Monty.
Jonathan David Louie.
Elizabeth Marie Moran.
Aaron Elizabeth Brady.
Richard James Moses.
Courtney Beth Brandyberry.
Bradley T. Mountain.
Angela Elizabeth Braun.
Ryan Patrick Mullen.
Nathan Andrew Briggs.
Teresa Marie Musser.
Jeremy Philip Rowan.
Kenneth Christian Myers.
Tracy Melissa Brown.
Tariq Nabas.
Whitney Janelle Brown.
Angela Zareen Naderi.
Eric Charles Buman.
Elise Christine Nam.
Stacy Lynn Bunn.
Yuki Narita.
Jamie Lynn Bunting.
Katie Aaron Newcamp.
Christopher Robert Birch.
Constantine Nicholas Nicholas.
Michael William Burns.
Benjamin Stephen Olds.
Thomas Dow Meyer.
Claire Rietta O'Toole.
Alexandra Lorraine Boskovitz.
Matthew David Palmieri.
Jeremy Andrew Byrne.
James Joseph Park.
Tegan Ann Kane.
Donald Patrick Pazlowski.
Aaron Mary Campbell.
Shiva Shashi Patel.
Laura Marie Camus.
Laura Patrinas.
Joshua Warren Cannon.
Stephanie Ann Patton.
David Christopher Caruso.
Andrea Peters.
Nina Marie Catalucci.
Robert Blake Petty.
Lauren Rachel Caluella.
Andrew Lynn Pyatt.
Brett James Celadonia.
Emily Ann Marie Paquel.
Susan Eugene Chang.
Amanda Maeve Ponko.
Lindsay Carey Changle.
Stacy Lynn Pushkar.
James Charles Clark.
Arun J. Rambia.
Timothy Anthony Costantino.
Benjamin Patrick Ramos.
Christine Marie Cox.
Lalit Reddy.
Ryan Michael Chris.
Colin Robert Redman.
Margaret Kroll.
Devin Charles Reefer.
Robert John Carigliano.
Eugene Gerard Reyes.
Russell Stewart Davis IV.
Mary Susan Richardson.
Daniel William DeLeo.
Diana Elaine Richter.
Dominique Marie Dallaire.
Eric Matthew Rickle.
Jonathan F. Dell.
Angela Marie Rionda.
Lucia Marina DeSimone.
Matthew George Roberts.
Jennifer Nicole DeWalt.
Jeffrey Thomas Roach.
Oscar Diaz.
Jonathan Elliott Rohrig.
Dana Lynn DeMarco.
Elizabeth Ann Rolick.
Edward John DeSantis III.
Anthony Nicholas Harvey Roma.
Gregory Stephen Doden.
Carolyn Nancy Romano.
Scott Anthony Donofrio.
Sharon Louise Romano.
Bradley Richard Downey.
Catherine G. Michelle Ross.
Abby Helene Droz.
Amanda Malane Rothy.
Natalie Rose Drozda.
Renee Marie Rabino.
Bridget Emily Duffy.
Gwen H. Ruderer.
Jennifer Lynn Zeke.
Amy Marie Rudowitz.
Matthew Madison Edie.
Melanie Lauren Rutledge. Sherry Lynn Salmond.
Thomas James Ernie Jr.
Stephanie Kim Sappas. Daniel James Shebeth.
Bruno Cesar Lego Evangelista.
Lindsay Marie Scheid.
Bethany Joy Valletta.
Lauren Ann Shine.
Caitlin Ann Fehrenbacher.
Julia Allen Schmidt.
Shannon Brooke Fife.
Matthew Scott Schneiders.
William Gary Florkowski.
Kimberly Lynn Sheets.
Megan Elizabeth Fournier.
Richard Ryan Schwartz.
Megan Elizabeth Fratteri.
Catherine Michelle Skirman.
Kelly Louise Free.
Lee Ann Cedar.
Shannon Brooke Fryer.
Joshua Mar Salkovitz.
Paul Ross Ferner.
Brian Richard Seymour.
Kanika Thomson.
Garland Overton Sharp III.
Sherry Lynn Garfella.
Sandra Shepley.
Keith Robert Gerlach.
Scott David Sherwin.
David W. Garris.
Amanda K. Schick.
Eric Lynn Guest.
Jennifer Elizabeth Shine.
Joan Rebecca Gigas.
Julia Francis Schock.
Bethany
Watch this.
Lee Gill.
Rajette Mohan Shavistava.
Joshua Seth Goldblatt.
Monica Carol Silver.
Jeremy E. Goldstein.
Daniel Patrick Slowey.
Gretchen Ray Gumbar.
James Daniel Smearman.
Elizabeth Lauren Broughty.
Matthew David Smiles.
Jessica Dawn Greenwell.
Randy Lynn Snyder.
Charles William Griffin Jr.
Trisha Lee Soder.
John P. Habathier Whitting.
Stacy Allison Sterling.
Joseph Michael Hagan.
Jason Blaine Stifler.
Sarah Elizabeth
Nicole Ann Stockey.
Lauren Brianne Hartman.
Jamie Lee Stone.
Jennifer Lee Hasbrook.
Meredith Lynn Stout.
Mihoko Hashimoto.
Richard Dean Strayer III.
Justin Howe.
Jared A. Stutzman. Okay, Buff.
Ashley Susan Hecht.
Justin Charles Sujansky.
Jillian Victoria Pepper.
Andrew Kahn Sukenik.
Douglas S. Peckman.
Alexander William Solkowski.
Elizabeth Catherine Hyman.
Michael Patrick Sullivan Jr.
William Becker Preston.
Mashira Suzuki.
Allison Joyce Henderson.
Keith Robert Swaney.
Tiago Person.
Anne Marie Sweeney.
Melissa Joanne Pennebush.
Beth Marie Takis.
Megan Frances Hicks.
Ann Elizabeth Tallarico.
Ryan Lewis Holiday.
Elizabeth Marie Tokolvi.
Stephanie Lynn Holmes.
Sarah Elizabeth Thace.
Todd Ryan Condrew.
Emily Delavan Trice.
Jonathan Edward Hostler.
Richard Lawrence Trotter.
Sarah Victoria Hauser.
Benjamin Walter Trick.
Melissa Ann Hudson.
Walter W. Ulrich III.
Megan Farrell Holzenbeck.
Michelle Marie Ungeheyer.
Daniel Angelo Iraqi.
Julie Christine Van Wassen.
Thomas Matthew Jefferson.
Douglas Valicki.
Caroline Cross Jesselnick.
Jeremy Stephen Venore.
Hi Daniel Kimber Johnson.
Michael Patrick Verlato.
Keith Patrick Johnson.
Sean Vittmeyer.
Scott Michael Justin.
Leo Stephen Vagetti.
Zachary John Kale.
Michelle Leigh Vo.
Ganesh Kalyana Raman.
Caroline Elizabeth Votis.
Kristen Elaine Kasnick.
Emily Dawn Watkins.
David Philip Keys.
Adam Jeffrey Wasnegger.
Thomas Evan Keener.
Matthew John Weaver.
Laura Marie Kittner.
Ashley Blair Weiss.
Jennifer Ann Coble.
Michael Andrew Weissert.
Daniel Kramer.
Jesse John Welling.
John Michael Kubera.
Kylie Kathleen Whalen.
Erin Marie Keel.
Benjamin Stewart Wetzel.
Jennifer Lynn Keel.
Jill Marie Williams.
Daniel Christopher Kunzik.
Tyler James Willard.
Andrea Carter Lane.
Mark Patrick Winkler.
Marissa Lynn Latanzi.
Christine Elaine Dyer Wolf.
John Paul Lakaitis.
Ann Elizabeth Woodford.
Amanda Morel Law.
Timothy Wu.
Charles Matthew Lee.
Devin Suzanne Wyatt.
Sarah Catherine Leifert.
David John Yancora.
Laura Jean Linepuller.
Justin Arthur Yawn.
Christopher Scott Lemke.
Jason Frederick Young.
Shannon Robert Lennon.
Max Anton Young.
Rita Emily Lynn.
Daniel Justin Zellick.
John Leah Carey.
Matthew Philip Ziddick.
James Loverty. William Blake Luce.
Jim. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present to you the graduating class of 2000.